Hi everyone, so starting from now I will make videos about the latest info that we got about different devices, starting with the Samsung Galaxy S10. Now, seeing how I already did a Samsung Galaxy S10 video, I will not make a concept video after that. But other than that, the plan is that I release a video like this, and then the day after or some days after it, if I have a model for it or if I rendered it, I will make a video like you know from me. So an introduction video with all the music and all the stuff and whatnot. And that is how I'm planning to do this. So stay tuned for that. So let's start with the Samsung Galaxy S10. Now the Samsung Galaxy S10 is rumored to come in 3 different sizes, starting with a 5.8 inch display, then a 6.1 and then a 6.4 inch display. Now the 6.1 and the 6.4 will have this infinity display like we know from Samsung. However, the 5.8 is rumored to have a flat display compared to the other two. It is also rumored that the 5.8 will be the cheaper model when it comes to it. It is rumored that that one will have 4 GB of RAM or maybe 6 GB for a more expensive version of that version. However, the 6.1 and the 6.4 is of course rumored to be the high end of those devices. Apart from the difference on the back, because on the 6.4 one we will get an extra camera. Now this extra camera is rumored to be a wide angle camera with 123 degrees wide view. Now this means that you will capture much more in a single picture, and I actually really enjoy that. I used the LG G6 and I used the Asus Zenfone where we did have a wide angle picture, and it makes a lot of difference. However, it is the lesser sensor compared to the main sensor. Now the main sensor will probably still have the 1.5 aperture to a 2.4 aperture, what we have now on the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus. However, I do expect that there will be some sensor upgrades, hopefully a bigger sensor. I would really enjoy that if we actually get a bigger sensor on the phone. Now, while I expect that the Samsung Galaxy S10 will be a beast and much better than the Samsung Galaxy S9, because the S9 was more of an updated S8, I expect that the design itself will not look a lot different than we are used to from Samsung. There is, however, some key differences that we should expect on the Samsung Galaxy S10, and I am talking about the 6.1 and the 6.4 version. So on the 6.1 and the 6.4 version, we will probably get less bezels all around. It is also rumored that they are trying to make it bezel-less, at least as far as they can. With this rumor, it is rumored that they will have this sound emitting screen where we don't have a speaker that we are used to on the top of the phone itself. This would create some space and it would allow Samsung to benefit better from that. However, I'm not sure how they will put those sensors there, and of course the camera itself, because it is also rumored that it will have a 3D face scan thing going on like Apple has. However, it is rumored that it will be better than that. We have to wait and see. So let's talk about the specs that we are probably getting in the Samsung Galaxy S10. Now I'm talking about the 6.1 and the 6.4 inch version, because I expect that the 5.8 version might have a bit lesser specs compared to those two models. Now, starting off, we expect that it will have a Snapdragon 855 and of course the Exynos 9820 based on a 7nm process. Now, what is interesting about the Exynos 9820 is that it will probably have the GPU Mali G76 by ARM. Now, this is probably the first 7nm GPU in a phone itself. Now, I'm talking about the GPU and of course not the CPU itself. It's quite interesting, and the Exynos version will use a 2+2+4 Dynamic IQ architecture according to Ice Universe. I had to read that out loud because, you know, it's quite a lot of specs. Now, what is also rumored but expected, of course, is that the Samsung Galaxy S10 will have a fingerprint scanner under the display. Now for the 6.1 and the 6.4 inch version, it will be a different technology from what we have seen from Oppo and so on. Now the idea is that it will use audio waves, from what I've heard, to create a pattern and then recognizing your fingerprint scanner. For the 5.8 version, however, it will be the technology we've seen from Oppo and Vivo and so on. It's basically a chip under the display itself. But yeah, I think that the Samsung Galaxy S10 will be a beast when it comes out. However, there are some key things that I would prefer that Samsung focuses on as well. For instance, the camera. The camera is a beast overall, but it isn't specifically better at any single thing. For instance, it's great at video, but there probably are better ones out there. It's great at pictures, but the Google Pixel still beats it. When it comes to contrast and the warm tones, I do not like it on the Samsung. I don't know why they keep doing it, or why you don't have a switch to put this off. Why you cannot change those tones. For me, I think that is something that Samsung has to focus on as well and make it an overall better camera. I mean, really a step up. I think the camera is great, but it needs some work, and in low light situations it is softening it too much, where pictures just come out too soft for me. It doesn't define the picture anymore, and it loses a lot of character when something looks too soft to remove grain, but also because of the higher aperture itself. So I hope that Samsung will work on that. The wide angle itself, I'm really a fan of that, so I do hope that that is actually correct and the rumor is correct in itself. Anyway, will you get the Samsung Galaxy S10? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think about the trend of getting more and more cameras? Because we started with one camera, then we got two for depth and zoom or maybe wide angle. Then we got three with the Huawei P20 Pro. And there is a rumored 4 camera system for Samsung. And we've seen the Nokia with 5 cameras. Now I get the idea that it might be working the same way as Light did with theirs. I think it had 16 cameras or something. Quite a lot of cameras in there, but I think it is something that is going too far. I'd rather have one single camera, or maybe 2, with a larger sensor that captures overall a better picture. We will have to wait and see. It is nice if we get this larger sensor, but what do you think about having more and more cameras on the back? Do you see any benefit of, for instance, having 5 cameras? I do see the option where we can say with 3 cameras, you have a normal one, you have a zoom one, and you have the wide angle one. Let me know in the comments below what you think. And of course, talk to you guys in the next